Former MF Global CEO Jon Corzine wants the case against him to be dismissed, saying the CFTC manufactured charges that he's responsible for the misuse of $1 billion in customer money. MF Global has settled with the CFTC, and Mr. Corzine so far isn't facing any criminal charges.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Is Corzine getting off easy, especially compared to the government's seemingly relentless scrutiny and investigations of J.P. Morgan and Jamie Dimon in particular? Joining us now, two securities lawyers to talk about it. Jon Corzine, partner at Petgar and Abramson, and Andrew Stoltmann, who has his own firm. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. Andrew, what do you think? Is Jon Corzine getting off easy because of all of his political connections?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. Out of everyone in the securities industry, if anybody else did what he did and his firm did, which was borrowing over $1 billion of customer money, I don't think there's any question that the book would be thrown at him. Instead, what he's got is civil charges and relatively watered-down civil charges, and I think that's absolutely shocking. I think the fact that he's a former senator as well as a former governor makes a huge difference.
Right, so he was a former senator, former governor. You say that's the bottom line. That's
right.
what.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Tom, your time's coming. Hang on a second.
Contacts matter, and when you have the sort of contacts that a former senator and a former governor have, that's huge, and I think that's a major reason why the regulators haven't lowered the boom on him.
Tom?
I think it's crap. They don't even allege that he had a reason to know that this underling was doing what she was doing. They don't allege that he actively participated in it. They allege that he failed to ask to see whether anybody was doing this or engaging in this kind of wrongdoing. He's a CEO of a far-flung enterprise. They say the CFTC seemingly had a problem with him or his firm taking risk. Well, they're a commodities firm. I mean, what do you think they're doing?
Yeah, but
you can't borrow customer money. You just can't do that.
There's no allegation that he knew that they had.
But
they don't even allege it. They don't even allege it.
From a control person liability perspective, it doesn't matter that he doesn't know.
But
the fact is his supervisor,
you still have to prove that there was a reason to know.
You can't bury your head in the sand. You just can't do it.
This goes back to the argument that's the same kind of argument you hear surrounding the financial crisis, as we remember that 5 years later, that not a single head of any single financial institution went to prison, was arrested, was charged with anything.
So what?
I mean, well, at what point? Doesn't the guy at the top have to have responsibility for something?
Of course he does. You can't bury your head in the sand. You can't bury your head in the sand. Look the other way.
Let me ask you this, Tom. Tom, do you think that it's been overdone what's going on at J.P. Morgan and Jamie Dimon? I mean, he's constantly in the crosshairs of government.
Well,
they're investigating every which way at J.P. Morgan. Is that appropriate?
Well, shame on Jamie Dimon and J.P. Morgan for failing to throw themselves on their knees at the feet of the regulators, the over-officious regulatory industrial complex who thinks that they must have done wrong because they make money. Shame on Jamie Dimon, I guess.
So you're saying shame on Jamie Dimon, but not shame on Jon Corzine?
I'm not saying shame on either, Maria. I'm not saying shame on either of them. You don't look at results and work backwards. I was being facetious.
Did he not just say shame on Jamie Dimon?
I was being sarcastic, Maria. Shame. How dare Jamie Dimon resist the regulatory industrial complex? You don't look at results and then work backwards to blame.
J.P. Morgan has 5 Department of Justice investigations going on right now.
Yeah.
Okay, they have been absolutely hammered. And what happened at MF Global is much more serious.
Right.
You're borrowing $1 billion of customer money.
They resist the investigations. The more they resist the investigations, the more investigations they face. The regulatory industrial complex wants Jamie Dimon
because you say it loud doesn't make it right.
Tuna on their head.
Tom, if Jon Corzine gets to benefit from either the trades or whatever people under him that he may not have known about explicitly, if he gets the benefit of that by virtue of the firm's performance, by virtue of his bonus, by his stock going up and all that stuff, why shouldn't he pay a bigger price when the ship sinks, even if he didn't know about it? The guy is driving the ship.
He is paying a big price. Do you seriously think that facing a criminal investigation, having the FBI crawl all over you, then have the CFTC sue you?
Isn't that appropriate, though? But isn't that appropriate?
Why is it
appropriate? $1 billion is missing of customer money.
So if he has money, then he must be investigated. investigated because something bad happened.
No, it's not his money. It's customer money.
You're missing $1 billion of customer money, and that makes a difference.
Maria, they don't even allege that he had any reason to know that his underling was doing
this.
You
have to know, Tom. You can't just bury your head in the sand and look the other way and say, gee, I don't know.
What is that called? Was it willful blindness? Is it not being fully aware of what's going on?
It's ridiculous, Tom. That argument doesn't pass the red face test.
This is a multi-billion-dollar business. Do you know what's going on in the mailroom at CNBC? Of course not.
No, but you know it's $1 billion of customer money missing.
The buck stops here.
Yeah,
the buck stops at the CEO's office. You better know what's going on.
Paid. But this is individual liability now. Now, we're not talking about the company being responsible because the company settled up. But
Who's responsible?
But individual liability,
Who's responsible,
we don't impose.
He's the ultimate supervisor.
Oh, well, his co-defendant. Look, if she took customer money and covered the positions with that, if she did that, then that's on her.
Blame the secretary, not the chairman of the firm, not the CEO.
You're blaming the secretary?
But if they don't even allege that he had any reason to know. That's the easiest thing in the world to allege.
He's the supervisor.
He had to have known.
He's the head of the firm.
You say that, but the CFTC doesn't.
Regulators say that. The CFTC says that. Securities law says that.
But that's not, they have no proof. They have to show that he had a reason to know that this was going on. And then they say the failure of Jon Corzine.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Tom, thank you. Andrew, thank you as well.
Well, we're looking for accountability. We're still looking. Thanks, guys.